At what point do the American people wake up and realize that the government has taken too much control? We no longer control the government. In fact, they are controlling us. We are no longer allowed to pray or protest in front of anybody under Secret Service protection. First Amendment, no longer. The Second Amendment is being attacked left and right. They're doing everything they can to completely destroy that. The Fifth Amendment, do we not have the right to a fair trial, to be judged by our peers? Not according to Obama. They have passed their new law saying that they can assassinate any American citizen at any point if they feel, you know what, it doesn't matter what they feel. They've basically made it law that they can assassinate an American citizen without due process, without proof of any kind. It doesn't matter. As long as they think that there's a good enough reason to kill you, they can do it, no questions asked, there's no appealing the process. In fact, you probably won't even know about it. You'll just die. We've gone so far lately into scaring our children to thinking guns are so wrong that this country is going to grow up thinking that guns are wrong. Let's look at a few examples here. Just a few days ago, there was a kid who pulled a .22 caliber revolver on a school bus at a high school and pointed it at the head of another student. 3 students tackled this individual. No one was injured, and he was arrested. Nobody got shot. What did the school do? They suspended the 3 kids who stopped the shooting by saying that they were, quote, involved in a gun-related incident. Okay? That's a bit ridiculous. How about the kid who... now, these are real. Look this up. There was a kid who was suspended from school because he basically tore a piece off of his pizza. That's right. He took a piece of pizza and he tore a piece off of it, and they, quote, said it looked like a gun. They've got pictures of it. It doesn't look like a fucking gun. How about another kid who was suspended from school because he had a Pop-Tart? Now, you know what Pop-Tarts are, right? Little toaster pastries. He took one of them, and it looked like a gun, according to them. It had, basically, you know, they're like this, and it's missing a piece. It supposedly has the shape of a gun. There was a kid that also was suspended because he threw an imaginary grenade at a group of imaginary bad guys on a playground. He basically took his hand like this, with nothing in it, and threw it into an area with no one, and using his imagination, and he was fucking suspended. Anybody else find a problem with that? Okay, let's continue on. FEMA is currently building concentration camps. Alright? They've purchased 2 million caskets. Kind of odd, don't you think? The federal government has purchased over 1.6 billion rounds of ammunition, most of which is 9mm and .40 caliber. Okay, now let's look at some of these agencies. A lot of people go, oh, well, maybe it's the Army. This has nothing to do with the Army. This is the Homeland Security people. They've purchased weapons and ammo. Here's a question. At what point does the Social Security Administration ever need a firearm? Ever need bullets? These people purchased over 500 million rounds of ammunition. Last I checked, we didn't need hundreds of millions of bullets for the guy on disability down the road. Okay? We're arming our entire federal government. From the IRS to the Social Security Administration. Obama just purchased 2,700 armed tanks. Tanks for the police. Okay? So, let's think here. We've got the military using, they're practicing killing Americans. They're flying over places in Texas and Florida in helicopters using blank rounds, flying 30 and 40, 50 feet above Americans in their cars with fully automatic guns with blanks in them, practicing killing Americans. Wake up, people! How hard is this to make you understand that this government, they are coming for you? This is no longer a conspiracy. This is no longer just bullshit rantings of some psychotic nut job who's 50 years old in his mom's basement. You have the military practicing killing Americans. You have the federal government, in every level of the federal government, purchasing as many firearms and as much ammunition as they can, while at the same time trying to ban you from having firearms and limiting the capacity of that your magazine can have, while at the same time purchasing millions of caskets, building concentration camps, suspending and expelling children from school for imaginatory grenades, and because anything they see has the L shape that could look like a gun. At what point do you people stop with your bullshit and realize this is a war? This is a war, people. They're coming for us. This is no longer the rantings of nut jobs. I don't know how to make this any clearer. What does the government need this for? They're buying tanks, too? At what point do we need 3,000 tanks on American soil? I mean, really. When would we ever need those? We have the National Guard. We have our military. These are tanks with police stickers slapped on them. Okay? This is ridiculous. Things are getting so out of control, and so many people are just closing their eyes and reaching their hand out. Obama, give us our cell phone. Give us our cell phone. And it's all about the redistribution of wealth right now. That's all they're wanting is they're wanting Obama to take some money from these taxpayers and hand it on over. Here's another interesting little thing. Just for the hell of it, I wanted to see how these new taxes were going to impact people in 2013. So I got on the IRS website, and there's a tax calculator there. You can see how much money you will owe the federal government for working in 2013. Let's look at this. I put in that I made $9.5 million. I paid $50,000, or no, what'd I pay? I paid about $5,000 in medical expenses. I put in there that I paid $500,000 in taxes taken out of my paychecks. Okay? Would you like to know what I owed? Well, according to the IRS, what I would owe if I made $9.5 million, paid $500,000 in taxes, at the end of 2013, I would owe an additional $150,000 to Medicare, and I would owe an additional $4.3 million in taxes because they did not apparently take enough out of my withholdings. Think about that, people. All these poorer people, that's just fair. Tax the rich more. No, an equal percentage would be fair, because let's just imagine for a moment here that taxes are a set rate of 10%. If you are poorer than poor, 10% is 10%. If you only make $1,000 a year, well then only $100 goes towards your taxes. If you make $100 million a year, $10 million goes towards taxes. My point is, 10% being a flat rate, well, I think that's probably a bit high, but 10% being a flat rate would basically fix all these tax problems. That would be fair. It's equal. The more you make, the more they take. It doesn't, it doesn't go, oh, look at this. This man made $500,000 this year, taxing $300,000. I mean, think about it. If you made $9.5 million, wouldn't you be a little upset if $5 million of that went towards taxes? Look, I mean, that's ridiculous. The government's taxing our money. They're banning our guns. They're banning our high-capacity magazines. They're banning kids from schools for pizzas in L shapes. They're bringing in tanks. The Social Security Administration is part of the federal government. They're purchasing ammunition. They're building concentration camps. They're buying millions of caskets. Wake the fuck up, people. This is no longer bullshit politics.